What's up, folks? I'm super excited to show you my new boat. I've got everything done but the carpet padding and the carpet, and it's coming in the mail next week. So I just kind of finished everything up. I got it vacuumed out. Let me show you what I started with. I wrote out a list of all the things that I had to do. So check this out. This is where I've come from. All this stuff. It's quite a list. Here's my wiring diagram that I came up with. Got little fuzzy things kind of in the way. So that's where I'm coming from. I knocked out all of that stuff. Let's have a look at the boat. I'll give you a little faraway pan. Okay, let's start from the front and I'll show you everything I did. Okay, here's my nav light. This is direct power for my Yellowtech power stick, which I'll be doing some videos off the front. This isn't wired up. I just got that in there to fill up the hole. Here's my Lowrance HDS9 Gen 3 up front. Got a recessed trolling motor tray, foot pedal tray. Foot pedal. I got the HDI transducer on here. I put the little protector on there to help that out. Got a new jack. Got new safety chains. New wiring. Let's walk back here. I've got one seat pedestal base so I can have a seat when I'm night fishing. Here's the hatch I did. I did a video on this. Here we go. Let's open this sucker up. Okay, this is what it looks like underneath. I put this aluminum floor in there. I used that that closed cell foam, sheets of that closed cell foam, put it in between the ribs. And this deck actually goes up to about right here. So I've got this huge storage area. And then this is where my nav light running pole goes, right here. So it's completely out of the way. This thing's pretty sweet. You just turn the levers and it locks. Let's look at the live well. Here's my live well vent. Did a video on that. It's a great way to save money. That's what it looks like underneath. So here's the live well. I got my pump in. Got a tube running down so the water that's coming in out of the lake pushes down towards the bottom, doesn't splash up. Here's my recirculation pump. Here's my drain plug. This is 19 by 19 by 13. And this recirculation hose comes up here. I've drilled holes in the bottom of this, so when it sucks that water out of the live well, it's gonna spray. Gonna get a nice spray, hopefully. I gotta go check all this stuff. Now, one thing I'm gonna be getting done is I'm gonna divide this lid. I'm gonna have a split in that lid because I don't want to be disturbing my fish. I've got dry storage. That whole area right there is dry storage. I mean, I can fit a ton of tackle in there. I'm pretty excited about that. But I don't want to have to lift this whole lid up to get my tackle out of there. When I've got fish in the live well, the fish are going to get spooky, and if I'm in a tournament, I certainly don't want fish to jump out. So I'm taking it back to the welder, and he's going to cut it right here. And I'm still going to he's going to box it in like this, so it'll still be waterproof in there. So I'll still have my dry storage. I left these holes right here because this vent is facing this way, so it's going to force air in here, and we're going to have some air holes for the air to escape as well. And it's going to be carpeted too, so I'll do another video with it carpeted and just show you, what it looks like. It'll probably be actually out on the lake when I show it to you guys. But let's go to the floor. Here's the floor. This has got that 2-inch styrofoam in the bottom of it. You know, I cut it in between the ribs. This is just 16 gauge aluminum. I pop riveted it all, and it's pretty good. It's gonna work out just fine, I do believe. All my wiring is ran down here. I got this flex tubing that's split, and these are just pieces that I cut. I did the same thing on that side over there, so it looks nice and clean. Let's go check out my switch panel. There's the switch panel we got. Okay, I'll power all this up here in a second. So that worked out pretty good. It works out, it looks clean. Let's walk around here real quick. Still gotta clean all this stuff up here. It's kind of a mess in the old garage. So here's the back hatch that I put in. This is a little storage compartment that I made. This opens up. This all had closed cell foam in here. I had to dig it out. I did a video on how to do a compartment liner. This is just thin aluminum. And then here's the back of my fuse, or the back of my switch panel is right there. So this is gonna be waterproof. I've still gotta fill in these gaps right here. I'll probably be putting some expandifoam, some spray foam or something, maybe some kind of putty to fill that in. Here's my back deck. Okay, we've got my nav light right here. Got another power supply for the YOLO Tech for the rear cam. Here is my lids. Just mounted these today. It's a 3-inch hinge, stainless steel hinge. Put some weather stripping right here to pad it, because this lid is very heavy. This is kind of a mess, but I have cleaned it up a little bit. So I've got my 2-bank onboard charger. This is a 50 amp circuit breaker for my trolling motor. Here's a main power on and off switch. And I'm gonna go ahead and power this on so I can show you all the other stuff. I got 2 batteries in here. I got 20 volt, 24 volt trolling motor, and I'm gonna run 2 batteries. I'm gonna try to power it all off 2 batteries and see how that works. I've got my bilge pump running down here, and it's sitting here in the back, coming out the side here. So that's what that looks like. Okay, see how that closes? Nice and snug. It's not real loud because that is aluminum. Here's the motor. It's a Hawgz 9.9. Got a 12 pitch prop on it. 4-stroke. That's a bad mamba jamma. Pretty excited about that. I've only had it out one time. I've been very, very patient. Been working on this non-stop. I probably got like 50, 60 hours in this boat, maybe more, I don't know. Just working, you know, 2 hours here. I've had a few days where I've got to spend like half a day doing all this stuff. You already saw my trailer. Cool thing about this trailer is it's got steps. Really like the steps on this thing. Got the fender on there with tape on it. It's a nice, solid trailer. Really like it. It was a good selling point. Over here, we've got my NEMA power switch for my NEMA, which connects both of these graphs. This is my 0.1 antenna. And underneath here, we got my gas tank. And what I did with the gas tank is I used some of these conduit, they're conduit clamps that hold the conduit, and it can't slide this way. And I've got a bungee cord that is mounted down there. So this thing's not going anywhere. I can remove it, no problem. But I left a little bit of space for the gas to expand, because sometimes in the summertime when it gets hot, the gas kind of expands. And I didn't want it to be too snug to where it couldn't do what it needed to do. So left a little bit of space. This is PVC board. It's plastic. It's pretty lightweight. Here's my NEMA backbone. Got it. There's power. There's the 0.1 antenna. Then there's front graph, back graph. And there's my wiring system. So that's what I did with that. I've put the weather stripping on there as well. Get that nice, easy sound. I've run my wiring down here, which is kind of sweet. This is going to my graph. So here's my Gen 2 HDS 12, Touch 12 graph. There's my gimbal mount. And once again, I ran all this stuff like this. And let's go back up to the front real quick, because I forgot to show you something. I got a switch panel up front, which is pretty cool. And I've turned my power supply on, so I'll show you what all this does. If you see right here, this is the front switch panel. This is a 12-volt cigarette lighter. You know, you can plug a spotlight in here, you can put a phone charger in here. This is, hear that? This is my recirculation pump. So I can hit that from here, and then here's my nav lights. So you got that rear nav light, and then you got this front nav light. So that's always a good idea, because if you're out fishing on the lake close to dark and you're in the front of the boat and you hear another boat coming, you don't have your lights on, you can just flip your lights on from the front of the boat, and as they pass you can turn them off instead of having to run all the way to the back of the boat. So anyway, there is a bus in here where it's got positive and negative hooked up to it, so I could actually run some LED lights. I could put another switch in here if I wanted to. I haven't really decided, but I do have options, and that is always good. So let's go back here and look at this switch panel before we shut this video down. Here's my switches. Switch number 1 is the nav lights, front and back. You can see them. So I can control nav lights from the front and the back. Switch number 2 is my live well pump in. This is this pump right here. Got that going. Switch number 3 is my bilge pump. The bilge pump's back there. So switch number 1, nav lights. Switch number 2, live well pump in. Switch number 3 is the bilge pump. And I've got 3 more switches that I didn't even use. And then this is a voltage regulator, 12.6 volts. Right here we have got, this is just a USB plug. Got a 2.1 amp and a 1 amp, so you can charge GoPros and you can charge your phone. It's kind of nice. And then over here we have another 12-volt cigarette lighter. So that is it. It took a long time, but I'm there. I may get a chance to take it out tomorrow. I'm curious to see how fast it runs, because I took a little weight out, put a little weight in. I don't know exactly where I'm at on that, but I think it's gonna run pretty good. I think it's gonna balance out really good. I've got the carpet and the padding coming, got everything roughed up. I have to do just a little bit more roughing on some of this painted aluminum, and I'm hoping that by next weekend I will have it completely done. I'll let it dry for a couple days, and then I should be good to go. So guys, I really appreciate you tolerating me with all these boat mod videos. I know I've been going overboard a little bit, but I just figured while I'm doing this stuff I would do some videos, because a lot of times I've tried to find a video for something that I'm doing and it just wasn't out there. And I'm sure there's several of these videos, there's other people that have done them, but everybody has a different way of doing stuff, and I hope that maybe some of this stuff has helped you. So pretty soon I'm going to be back out there on the water doing some fishing stuff for you. You know, I'll be out on the lake and giving you some reports, giving you some tips, info, that kind of stuff. I just had to get this boat project done, so I appreciate you guys being patient with me. And I really appreciate all your support. Please subscribe if you haven't, like it, share it on social media. It helps the channel grow. And until next time.